everybody, and welcome back to Lit Up with Annie. I hope that you're all doing fine. In this session today, we are going to discuss a poem which is Ozymandias by P.B. Shelley. And we will have a line by line explanation also of the poem. Let me first read out the poem and try and understand what the poet P.B. Shelley is telling us. Here is the poem. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal, these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sand stretch far away. So that is the poem. Let's dive into it line by line. It starts with a framed narrative where the speaker isn't describing the ruins firsthand, okay? Instead, the speaker recounts a story which is told by another traveler. I met a traveler from an antique land. So it creates a sense of mystery, एक distance बन जाता है. Antique land, it suggests कोई एक ancient civilization होगी, likely Egypt. And then it says, who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. And we have the inverted commas. So the traveler now starts telling, two vast and trunkless legs of stone. तो ट्रैवलर डिस्क्राइब कर रहा है एक ब्रोकन स्टैच्यू को और वो कह रहा है कि मैसिव लेग्स हैं जो खड़ी हुई हैं एक डेजर्ट में जिसकी अपर बॉडी जो है वो नहीं है. ट्रंकलेस लेग्स, ट्रंक जो है अपर बॉडी उसकी नहीं है, सिर्फ लेग्स रह गई हैं. नाउ द ट्रंक इज मिसिंग. तो इट इमीडिएटली टेल्स अस कि शायद कोई डिस्ट्रक्शन हुआ या क्योंकि बहुत पुरानी चीज़ है तो टूट गई होगी. It might have been once a great monument because बहुत massive है. And now it is reduced to ruins. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies. और साथ में ही near them, sand पे गिरा हुआ है क्या? Half sunk, वो भी desert में आधा डूबा हुआ एक shattered visage. Visage is the face. So probably legs वहाँ पे खड़ी हुई हैं, उसका जो face है, visage है, वो कहीं और गिरा हुआ है साथ में. लेकिन एक बड़ी पर्टिकुलर चीज़ है, whose frown and wrinkled lip and the sneer of cold command. जो फेस है स्टैच्यू का, एक तो वो ब्रोकन है, half buried है in the desert. It symbolizes the decay of human power, right? Maybe he was one of a great kings, and now what remains of him is this broken statue. The expression has been told to us that the face is very arrogant and very commanding. It has a cold sneer, cold command, sneer of cold command, which tells us that probably this person had a very arrogant attitude and he was very commanding. So it suggests that he was a ruler who was very cruel and very authoritative. So the sculptor has probably well read these passions. Tell that its sculptor well these passions read or read. तो पता चल रहा है कि जिस तरह से स्कल्प्टर ने जिसने ये स्टैच्यू बनाया होगा उसने बहुत अच्छे से किंग के एक्सप्रेशंस को रीड करके और इस फेस को तैयार किया है with beautiful expressions that it shows. The artist who made the statue very accurately captured the king's personality, showing that how art can preserve emotions even after the subject is gone. 8 liners which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things. So the king himself is long dead. फिर भी उसका जो ये arrogance है, it still lingers on in the statue's expressions. Lifeless things is this, well, the statue is lifeless. And it's an irony, the statue was meant to immortalize Ozymandias, but now it's broken and it is powerless. Next line is the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. A very ambiguous line which mocked, hand that mocked. Hand matlab obviously the sculptor जिसने उस स्टैच्यू को बनाया है. The hand that mocked them, meaning how the sculptor has imitated or captured Ozymandias' expressions, or it could also suggest the sculptor subtly ridiculed Ozymandias' arrogance, by giving the face those expressions. Heart that fed, it might refer to the king's own ambitions, which fed his power and ego. He must have seen the picture, this statue, and his heart must have fed on that. Oh, I'm powerful, I'm great, like that. Next lines are, and on the pedestal, these words appear, my name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. ये एक inscription है, which is left behind by Ozymandias himself. Proudly he is declaring his supremacy, कि देखो ये मैं हूँ, King of Kings. It suggests absolute power, a ruler above all others. Look on my works, ye mighty and despair. So Ozymandias is still boasting that go and look at my works, meaning his cities, his monuments, his empire, urging others to fear his power. And what is the irony here? That no works actually remain. The only thing left is this ruined statue in an empty desert. So instead of inspiring awe, the ruins evoke pity and irony. Nothing beside remains round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare. This is the greatest irony. Despite Ozymandias' bold claim, his empire has vanished. There is nothing left here. Colossal wreck. It reinforces the complete collapse of his legacy. The lone and level sands stretch far away. क्या दिखाई दे रहा है? सिर्फ अकेली और दूर दूर तक सिर्फ सैंड दिखाई दे रही है. वहाँ पे और कुछ नहीं है. Ruined, decay, everything. This is the final image of desolation. Lone and level sands. It contrasts with Ozymandias' former glory. Nature has erased his achievements. So the phrase suggests his insignificance of human power compared to the vast eternal forces of nature and time. So this is the poem. We have the transience of power, how even the mightiest rulers and empires, it will crumble, it will change. We have irony, hubris, in this work. We have the power of art, how the sculptor has captured the ruler's arrogance. And then we have the force of nature and time, the desert, vast and endless. It outlives all human achievements, right? So yeah, this is about the poem. How did you find it? Let me know in the comment section. If you have an alternative description to any of the lines, please let me know. I would be very happy to read your comments, and I'll see you in the next session. Please do share and subscribe to my channel and share it with others who are either preparing for any of the English literature exams. NET, SET, HPSC is coming. So yeah, and if you wish to take the full course, the details are in the description box. You can contact me if you want to know more details. Thank you. Have a nice day.